Welcome to the Data Coffee Break podcast. I'm Marc.
And I'm Christian.
If you are passionate about data like us, take a seat, relax, and join us to our coffee break where we discuss all things data.
And remember, there are no filters, no PR.
It's just a real life experience. So let's begin. Welcome everyone, and hello Christian, how have you been doing?
All good, Mark. Just coming back from the weekend, but super excited that we finally are doing this after quite a few months of planning. We are finally recording. But first of all, how was your weekend? How are you?
Oh, well, on my side, I just came back from a fantastic trip in Iceland. Landscape is just mind-blowing there. So
Amazing.
Landing slowly into the reality of going back to normal life in London, but like you, super excited. A few months of work in the making for this podcast, so very, very happy. And I guess the best way for us to discuss and introduce the podcast to our audience is kind of like me asking you some questions because you are the mastermind behind it. So I do remember, yes, definitely, you're the mastermind for that. But I do remember you in a pub one day telling me about this idea, this kind of a concept where we can have a space, a podcast for any technical person working with data, like data engineer, sales engineer, data consultant, and so on, to be able to listen to this kind of casual conversation, like the kind of conversation we have like in a pub or having during our coffee break, literally. And I found it very interesting and quite exciting concept. So can you maybe let us know a bit more about your thinking behind, your process thinking behind this?
Absolutely. As you mentioned there, Mark, I mean, all those data practitioners that are listening today, we salute you. We are with you. And we hope that you join us on this journey, because during this podcast, we're going to be trying to make you feel that you can relate to someone, that you can actually learn something new with us. And especially when we go into the why are we doing this? It's because, I mean, we really want to get a space in a community where everyone can feel identified. We all work with customers, we all work with data, we all look at data in our daily day, in our daily jobs. And sometimes we want some person to have a coffee with, right? And talk about, hey, how is it going? What was your experience with a customer? What you think about this new project that we're starting, or this new customer that we need to meet today. So it's all about being identified, creating a community, and feel that we belong.
Yeah, and actually to go back to your why point, like that reminds me when one day you told me about this mentoring situation you had. So you started to mentor a young professional who took up a kind of a data analyst role, if I remember, in another company. And you shared this kind of sentence with me, which was like, I wish at the time when I started my career that I had someone I can refer to and learn from in a kind of mentor-mentee relationship. And that also linked back to our conversation we had, such as like, and what you just mentioned right now, like, it's great to have space where you can listen people sharing the same interests, same topics, and learn from each other on that. So maybe you have like some stories behind that on your side.
Yeah, I mean, as I told you, right? Like, we were not born knowing everything, right? And I believe that pre-selling, consultancy, all of this is skill that you get through the years. And as I was telling you on the pub, I mean, I was thinking like we should use technology to now reach out as many people as we can, right? We have collected experiences by practicing every day, like pre-selling, consultancy, client-facing, and data, all about data. So the whole point of this was that, especially on those days that you get a bad meeting, or perhaps some things didn't work out very well, or simply you want to listen to new stories or new points of view, or what can all other people from similar, let's just call it job titles similar to us, are doing. I think that's something that we want to share.
I hope our audience will not face so many bad meetings, but that could be a good way indeed, like to help everyone to step back and share like those difficulties and those big wins that we have.
100%.
And coming back, so we're going to have some guests in this podcast. So anything you want to share on why we're inviting them? So you pointed out a few things on that already, but like how do we, let's say, select those individuals, where they can come from in terms of background? Anything you want to share on that?
Yes, absolutely. I think I'm a big believer on sharing ideas. Otherwise, people will just get with what I'm thinking. And first of all, the first thing that I thought, like, okay, so I have this idea. Who do I go with? Of course, I go with Marc. He's a super seasoned pre-sales engineer and with a great presence, but he also wants to share. He also wants to bring back to the data community. And during this podcast, you will find that our guests are those people that are all day in the field, people that you can relate to, people that have experience, that they have quite a successful career, but at the same time, they are all the time with customers or working with data. They are all data aficionados, if you may.
Yeah.
But most importantly, they have also this willingness to help others and to grow as a community with on data.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to be super exciting to have that. So I guess this is a kind of a kickstart for us. So very happy to start this journey with you, Christian. And we hope everyone here listening this intro will have fun. So just subscribe to our podcasts in the platform you prefer, and look out for new episode every Tuesdays. And where can our audience find us, Christian, actually?
Everyone can find us on the Data Coffee Break podcast at LinkedIn. So that's where we're going to be. Just make sure that you follow us. You will get every Tuesday your new episode. By the way, remember, opinions are our own and not the views of our employers.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Christian. And let's get started.